Hello everybody and welcome to a new Uncle Bean meme. In this episode, we're going to be looking at how to drag click on the G402. And although I'm not all that good at it, I am going to show you because some people asked me to. So, rather than framing this as a full-on tutorial, I'm just going to tell you how I learnt because I feel less like a bad person. So this was my drag clicking world, and this is the first thing you're going to want to set up. I also recommend that you get some kind of client or something that has a CPS tester because you do really want to be able to see your CPS, but if you can't, that's fine. You'll be able to see just how fast you're placing blocks, and if you're doing it well, they'll basically insta-place. Also, do it in creative mode because it's better. As you're just getting your finger and you're just dragging it along there. Now you want there to be enough friction for the button to essentially bounce up and down, like which of course actuates clicks, but not so much friction where you're just holding it down. Simple points. Clean mouse, get all of the oil off it. Then try dragging. See if you can get any friction. If it's completely smooth and you're just sliding over it like that, get some tape and put it on your finger while you're learning and on your mouse, and you can do this too. Ways of doing it that I showed you earlier, until you get the right amount of friction. Now, that friction won't be right until you figure out your exact amount of pressure. Push it too hard and your mouse will stay down, and that's really going to depend on your mouse. Push it too lightly, and again, you're just going to slide over. But then just get, halfway between that, and it's just going to skim just perfectly, and it's going to actuate tons of clicks a second, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it just bounces up and down with your friction. And then just rinse and repeat with the duct tape or the electrical tape and the weight, and just find a place that you can do it. The thing that I did the most, again, was over here. I would just go here, I would just jump in here and break a ton. I think this was before I could left drag, so I was manually breaking it, and then place a ton. And then break a ton, place a ton, break a ton, place a ton, until eventually you've gotten your weight right, and then you get your friction right. It's gonna take you an evening. Put on some nice music, get some duct tape next to you, close the door, find a nice world, and by the end of the evening, you'll be getting, you won't be getting high CPS. You'll be getting the same amount of clicks that you get by doing this, but you'll know that you're drag clicking. And then just bit by bit, it'll go up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And eventually, you'll be able to drag click. Keeping in mind, I can't speed bridge, so it's pretty useless for me. The first thing you're going to want to do is give your mouse a bit of a clean. I don't eat oily stuff around my mouse, so it wasn't really an issue. Just need some tissues, or microfiber cloth, which I also have, but I don't want to put alcohol on that because I need it for other stuff. And now I'm going to switch you to hand cam mode. Wasn't that an intense switch? Gosh, good stuff. So, as purple, just squirt some of that onto your tissue, and then just give it a good old rub. If you had any oil or anything on there, it's really key that you do that. So now you've got it clean, you need to just get the basic idea. So basically what you're doing is you're just getting your finger, and you're just dragging it along there. Now you want there to be enough friction for the button to essentially bounce up and down, like which of course actuates clicks, but not so much friction where you're just holding it down. So you need to get it to just that fine balance where you're bouncing it up and down, like that. So you might find that you don't have enough friction, and it's just sort of like just super smooth. If it's super smooth and it's just not working, you're going to grab some electrical tape, duct tape, sellotape, whatever you have, as long as it's got glue on it. You're going to get some of that, and then, cool, you've got a little bit, get it on the finger that you're going to use. Oh, by the way, I learnt using the right mouse button and didn't learn how to do it on my left mouse button for a long time, and I'm still nowhere near as good on that one. Just if you're wondering, get some of that on your fingers, and then put some on your mouse button as well. You can do a little mix of putting it on and then really warming it on and then taking it off, and then just dragging the glue over it as well. works out great. And that should, yeah, so that's added a ton of friction, but it's actually added too much for me because mine was at the perfect point before. And then you'll just add enough of that where you'll get just a little bit of friction going. But the other thing that you've got to work on is just the amount of weight that you put on your finger. Because as I said, you can't just be skimming over it like that, because that's not even clicking once. But you also can't be pushing down on it so hard that it doesn't bounce up and down. So you're going to find just a nice intermediary point there. And it takes a ton of practice. You can see, I just spent ages. I took some stone. I just went, near, placing over and over and over again, just getting it just right. And I started off just getting 5 and then losing it like that, and then getting another 5 blocks. And, you know, it's just really, for me, it was just a ton of practice. And then I'd fly up and do it again. And a little bit of this. But it really is, it took me one evening to be able to get, like, it took me an evening to be able to drag. And a little bit more than that to actually be successful. It also sort of, you gotta find specific spots on your mouse. So I find for left clicking, right here is where I do it. But for right clicking, I do it right in the center. Depends on where you've got the tape. But let's say that now you're not getting the right amount of friction anymore. You just get a little bit more tape and just get a little bit of that on your finger and keep going. Like, I'm not great at it. But you really just, it's just a lot of trial and error. Just, you know, trying different pressures, and eventually you're just gonna get it. You just, okay. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bada bing, bada bam. Uh-oh. My black curtain just fell. Huh.